Hi, welcome to Parenting Win. I'm Lisa Jacobus, and I'm here to answer our very first Facebook question. And that question came from Jackie. And Jackie wrote, with my 6-year-old, I feel like I'm always threatening with things I do not want to take away because it ruins our family time or things for the rest of us. I cannot seem to come up with effective consequences for poor behavior that he actually feels upset over, but doesn't break the hearts of the other 3 family members. So thank you, Jackie, for being brave enough to ask the first question. And this is a great question because I think lots of parents can relate and certainly struggle with this feeling as though they need to provide a punishment or a consequence in order to address the misbehavior of their child. So in positive discipline, we actually do not use rewards or punishment. We do encourage natural consequences and logical consequences. However, both concepts can be a little tricky to understand. So I'll provide a brief overview and then get into what I think might be going on in your situation. So natural consequences means that an example would be that it's raining outside and your child doesn't want to wear their coat. So rather than getting into a power struggle with them, you simply let them know that it's raining outside and that they might get wet. And they go outside, they get wet, they're not happy, and guarantee you the next time they will wear their coat. In that situation, it's important to note that when they do become upset, that you're not saying like, I told you so, you should have worn your coat, that you're providing empathy and just acknowledging their feelings of being upset. A logical consequence is a consequence that occurs that's related to the misbehavior. So an example is, your child's playing ball outside and they break a window. So the consequence may be that they pay for the window repairs. It's related to the behavior. It's reasonable, it's respectful, and it's helpful in that they're learning that they need to take ownership for the mistakes that they made. Now, when we're looking at behavior and misbehavior and we're trying to figure out a logical consequence for this misbehavior, if we're struggling with, what is the logical consequence in that situation, that is a clue that a consequence is probably not the best approach in dealing with the situation. So when I read Jackie's question, I was like, I think the reason why she's struggling is that there isn't a logical consequence in this situation. So I actually reached out to her and I gave her a long list of feelings, and I asked her to pick one feeling on that list that best describes what she's going through when she's in this situation. And the word that she picked was defeated. So in positive discipline, we utilize what we call the mistaken goal chart. And I'll post this with the video. And it can be a guide to help clue us into what the child is experiencing when we're feeling a certain way. And so in Jackie's situation, she was feeling defeated. That clues us in that the child is maybe displaying some misguided power. So when we decode that message, that's telling us that this child is really feeling like they want to be included. They want to be a part of it. They're looking for attention, really, is what it comes down to. And so some helpful suggestions that I have for Jackie, and I'm going to post some of these things with the video. I'm not going to get too into it because I don't want to make this video super long. So one of the things that I would suggest is really withdrawing from any power struggles that you may be having with your son, and redirect his use of power in a more constructive way. So if, he wants to be in control, have him be like the teacher in that situation, or, give him the choice of, where should we go for lunch? Should we eat here or should we eat there? You don't want to give him free reign, but you want to offer some limited choices that helps provide him with the opportunity to have some control and some power. So you want to get him involved in the solutions. So you could sit down with him, not when you're in it, but maybe before these kinds of misbehaviors typically occur, or after when there's been a cooling off period, and just, ask a lot of curious questions and see if you can come up with some solutions to handling those situations with him. Decide what you will do, not what you will try to make your child do. So, you're driving in the car and, your son's acting out. And so before you get in the car, if being in the car is even a problem, it may not be, but you would say to your child, when you and your sister are fighting in the back seat, I'm going to pull over. And then if that happens, you would say, I'm going to pull over the car and I will wait until you guys are done fighting. So you're not telling them, they need to stop fighting. You're just going to say, like, I'm going to pull over. And that's what I mean when I say tell your child what you will do, and then let them decide how they are going to handle the situation. I think I mentioned this earlier, but again, offer choices, so to allow them to have some sort of power and control. And with children who really have this need to be the boss and this misguided sense of power, they really thrive on routines and in being involved in the plan. So any opportunity that you can get him involved in what the plan is going to be, I think it's going to be really helpful for him. So I will post a few other ideas and suggestions that I have, and I hope this is helpful for you and helping you understand kind of where this behavior is coming from, and that I think you're asking all the right questions that, I think a logical consequence in this situation is probably not what's needed. So definitely let me know if you have any other further questions, and if others listening have questions, feel free to reach out and I will respond next week. Okay, thanks so much. Have a good one.